Metamorphosis, and as you can imagine, I'm not happy. It's your boy Icon with a DC animated TV review, and for the love of God, they killed Nightwing. Like, what the fuck? Like, how do you like? No. I refuse to believe, like, I love Harley Quinn. I'm enjoying Harley Quinn, which is why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that because this is Harley Quinn, there's some hidden joke or hidden agenda or something. Maybe Nightwing, they put him in a casket, but maybe Nightwing's paralyzed. Maybe the Legion of Doom, the League of Assassins will bring him back. I don't know. Nightwing's gonna come back before the season's over. This is bullshit. Like, you don't kill, that's Goat Wing. Like, like, you don't kill the goat. So, assuming that this farce will not continue into the season finale, we continue on with the episode. So they're having a funeral for him. He's not really dead. They're having a funeral for him. And while they're having a funeral for him, the Bat family is basically splitting apart. Alfred, he's doing whitewater wine crime. So somehow Alfred ended up starting a wine business while he was in prison. And he said that he's going to use his wine business to do an actual crime. And then once he does a real crime, he'll be put in the same prison as Bruce Wayne, who we haven't seen in like 7 episodes. Like, Bruce, we got a glimpse of Bruce and like that's it. We ain't seen his ass no more. The Bat family's freaking out because they don't know what to do. Harley's actually the only person trying to keep the team together. And like I said, everybody's losing their mind. Barbara's upset. Barbara's emotionally distraught over the entire situation. And they figure that at this point, because Nightwing died, somebody's actually targeting them. They're like, like the Bat family's being targeted. So they're just like, well, shit, we're a target if we stay together. So the smart thing to do is for us to split apart. So Harley ends up going back to Ivy's house. She ends up going to move in with Ivy. Barbara goes back to her college dorm. And then Talia al Ghul, she sent the goons to go pick up her son, and we didn't see Damian again for the rest of the episode. Somehow, they discovered that Nightwing had a tracker on him, and they were trying to find the tracker. Lucius Fox made a cameo. Lucius Fox was trying to find the tracker so they can discover like who killed Nightwing. Now the whole episode, Barbara is basically cursing Harley out because she's just like, oh, Poison Ivy had something to do with this. Poison Ivy, Poison Ivy, Poison Ivy. And then Harley's like, oh, Poison Ivy had nothing to do with this. You can't blame Ivy. And then Barbara's like, no, Ivy did it. So they're trying to figure out where the tracker is. And then when Lucius found out where the Nightwing tracker was, he discovered that it was actually in the Legion of Doom. So Barbara hit it with the I told you so. So they go down to the Legion of Doom. And then when they go down to the Legion of Doom, they're trying to figure out where the tracker is. They find the tracker because King Shark was there with his 7 babies. He was talking to Jim Gordon. Him and Gordon ended up becoming like the world's best dads as far as like raising his shark children. And then when Harley and Barbara ran up on the shark children, they found that the tracker, the Nightwing tracker, was actually with one of the shark children. So Barbara continues to get pissed, and then she's like, I knew Poison Ivy had something to do with it. And then Harley's just like, let me go ask her. Barbara wasn't trying to hear it, so Harley tied her up. She tied Barbara up at the bar, and she went to go talk to Poison Ivy. Now, regarding Poison Ivy, she's hanging out with the boss bitches, and they're just like doing their thing, and she's with Talia and the other girls, and they're actually like having a spa day in a Lazarus pit, which I thought was hilarious. And then they find out that they got the news that Nightwing died, but then Ivy had saw that she had posted on her social media about Nightwing's death like 6 hours before she actually even found out. So then that's when they said they were just like, oh, the Johns, like they're the ones, they're controlling your social media. So Ivy goes to them and she's just like, listen, stop doing shit on my social media. She's like, let me control my own social media. And they're just like, oh no, honey. She's like, oh, let us take care of this. And then there was like more of them. They started multiplying, which started making me think. And there was like, it's like, oh honey. She was like, oh, we're going to do things. We're going to do an Ivy pageant, and all this other stuff. So now Ivy's whole thing is I got to get these sons of bitches out of my hair. She ends up groveling back to the natural disasters. And then she ended up speaking to them, and she's like, listen guys, I apologize for treating you like shit. She said, but I need your help to get rid of the Johns. So they come up with a plan to get rid of the Johns. So Ivy goes back to the Johns and she tells them like, listen guys, what, I've decided to listen to you, and we'll do whatever ideas you think will help me be a better, like a better boss bitch in the eyes of the public. So they do a pageant in front of the Poison Ivy statue. When they have the pageant, Ivy's there. She sees the girls who are dressed up like Poison Ivy. And the whole thing about the pageant was who could be the next Poison Ivy. So then Poison Ivy, in an effort to sabotage the Johns, because these are like social media, like PR guys. You can't just punch them in the face. Like, that's not how they operate. The way you defeat people like that is to shame their reputation, to kill their reputation. So what Poison Ivy did was the event that all the Johns planned for her, she ruined it. She told the kids that they'll never grow up to be anything special. They'll definitely never grow up to be Poison Ivy. Ivy. She said fuck almond milk. You know, like she was just like, oh, this whole thing is a farce. And she killed her reputation, which is the worst thing that you can do because that reflects badly on the PR team. So then she told the PR team to suck it, you know, because she's like, how you like them apples? And then the PR team ended up merging together and turned into one giant PR person. And it was at that point where I was just like, is this Clayface? Because remember, Ivy and Clayface had beef in the Las Vegas episode. So when they all came together and merged together to create one giant PR douchebag, I was like, that's obviously Clayface. Like, Clayface just did all this shit just to get his revenge, you know, on Poison Ivy because the two of them are still beefing. It was never revealed that it was Clay, but it has to be Clayface because why the fuck would these random Johns have all this power to merge into fucking Voltron? So I don't know. So that I think it's Clayface, but we'll see. So the John Clayface Stay Puft Marshmallow Man monster was going around, you know, destroying everything. The natural disasters led by Poison Ivy took them down. They destroyed the Johns, you know, blew up the Johns, and the world was safe, and the kids were safe. And then the kids were actually cheering when they killed the Johns. And then that's when Poison Ivy was like, shit. She's like, you girls could actually grow up to be me after all. Then everybody was happy. So then Harley shows up. She starts talking to Ivy, and she's like, did you kill Nightwing? And then Ivy was like, no. She was like, why would I do that to you? And then she said, to be honest with you, I'm the head of the Legion of Doom. So if one of my people did kill Nightwing, good. Like, fuck him. You know, so he's like, that's actually good for business. But then she was just like, listen, I don't have time to talk about this. We'll talk about it later. And then she walked away with her new friends and dissed Harley. So now Barbara got upset, and then she got drunk because while she was tied up at the bar, she was drinking. And then Barbara got drunk. And as soon as Barbara got drunk, the first thing she did was smack the shit out of Toyman. And Barbara single-handedly whooped ass on the entire Legion of Doom. Like, she beat up every single person of the Legion of Doom. And then after she was beating everybody up, then Harley jumped in and, like, had her back. They ended up beating up the Legion of Doom together. Then after Harley and Barbara defeated the Legion of Doom, then the Joker walked into the room because earlier in the episode, the Joker said to his family that he was returning back to villainy and he was returning back to crime. So I guess him being the mayor now is officially over. He threw in his resignation, but the crazy shit about it is his family was actually on board with him returning to a life of crime. So when Joker comes back to a life of crime, he's going to have a new Harley in the form of like his wife, and then he's going to have these two children. They're going to be creating havoc all over the city. But then when the Joker came in, he walked into the Legion of Doom and he was like, everybody, Joker's back, baby. And he said, I'm returned to villainy. Then he said, to celebrate my return, I pulled out an old classic, which is killing a member of the Bat family. And he was like, I killed Nightwing. And I was like, bullshit. Like, you did not kill Nightwing. Because they revealed earlier in the episode when Harley went back to Poison Ivy's apartment, she was talking to the plant, and then she went and took a nap, and then when she woke up, the plant was like, bitch, you was walking around stabbing pillows and screaming in the rooms and everything, and he said that she was sleepwalking. So Harley has a sleepwalking problem. And they even said that when Nightwing died, he died around like Macaroni's or something like that, which is Harley's like favorite restaurant, so there's a Harley tie in there. He had one of the friendship bracelets on his wrist, you know, that Harley had made for him. Like, my whole thing is, because Harley's basically like sleepwalking and doing villainous shit when she's sleepwalking, Harley basically killed Nightwing. We're going to find out that Harley killed it because they're just like, Joker's lying. Joker didn't kill Nightwing. He's just making, because they don't know who actually killed Nightwing, the Joker is just making that up so he can look good in the eyes of the Legion of Doom so he can get back into the Legion of Doom. We're going to find out Harley was sleepwalking and she was the one who quote unquote killed Nightwing. But then we're going to find out Nightwing's not actually dead because he was either paralyzed somehow or like Lazarus water. I thought it was hilarious that the casket they put him in had a giant cutout for his ass, which means they put him in the casket face down. I have no idea where Batman is. That's how the episode ended. And thank you for tuning in. So this is getting crazy. This is getting a little crazy. And I do want to see where this goes because, again, I don't think Nightwing's going to stay dead, you know, in the season finale. He's going to come back in the season finale. Like, the whole thing about Barbara taking this emotionally hard, I'm actually, like, into that. In the next episode, we're probably going to get Batgirl just running around the city, just fucking up every villain she can find. So I'm definitely down for that. But again, it's obvious, like the way that it's set up is like, it's obvious that Harley was the one who killed Nightwing and it actually wasn't the Joker. The Joker's full of shit. But share your questions, comments, and concerns down below. What do you think about this particular episode of Harley Quinn? Do you agree with me that Harley was the one who killed Nightwing and that Joker's lying? What do you think's gonna happen with the Legion of Doom? Where's Lex Luthor? Shit, where's Batman? Like, share your questions, comments, and concerns down below, and we'll continue to talk about it. Check me out on X and check me out on Instagram, always on YouTube, where you can leave your questions, comments, and concerns because I got the Blue Beetle on the channel, I got Harley Quinn on the channel, I got My Adventures of Superman, I got the season finale of Warrior, and I got that Justice League RBX crossover thing happening on my YouTube channel. So check that out as well. So that was it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Until next week for some more Harley Quinn action when we see Batgirl go wild on everyone's ass. Take care. And we're out this.